Those 3 words from my ex-husband Derek still echo in my mind. 3 words that changed everything. 3 words that led to the most humiliating moment of his life in a crowded courtroom. My name is Jessica Martinez. I've been a single mom for 2 years now. My son Tyler is 8 years old and the brightest light in my world. When Derek walked out on us, he made it clear what mattered to him. Money, his freedom, his new girlfriend Amanda. Everything else was just baggage. I work as a dental hygienist at Dr. Peterson's clinic downtown. 12-hour shifts, weekend overtime, whatever it takes to keep Tyler fed and clothed. We live in a small apartment on Maple Street. Nothing fancy, but it's ours. Derek lives in a penthouse across town with Amanda. He drives a BMW, takes vacations to Cabo, posts pictures of expensive dinners on social media. Meanwhile, I'm clipping coupons and shopping at thrift stores. The divorce was brutal. Derek hired the best lawyer in the city. I had a public defender who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. The custody agreement was simple. Derek got Tyler every other weekend. I got everything else. The responsibility, the doctor visits, the homework battles, the nightmares when Tyler asked why Daddy didn't want to live with us anymore. But Derek had one obligation: child support, $500 a month. Not much for a man who spent that on a single dinner, but it was the difference between Tyler having school supplies or going without. The payments started strong. First month, on time. Second month, 2 days late. Third month, a week late with excuses about cash flow issues. By month 6, Derek was 3 payments behind. I called him, texted him, left voicemails. His responses were always the same. "I'll get it to you soon, Jess. Things are tight right now." Meanwhile, his Instagram showed him at Lakers games, expensive restaurants, weekend trips to Vegas. Tyler started asking questions. "Mom, why can't I get new shoes like the other kids?" "Mom, why don't we ever go to McDonald's anymore?" "Mom, why does Daddy have such a nice car but we take the bus?" Each question felt like a knife twisting in my chest. By month 8, Derek owed me $4,000. I filed papers with the court. The judge ordered him to pay immediately or face contempt charges. Derek's response came through his lawyer, a motion to reduce child support payments. His argument? His income had decreased. He couldn't afford the current amount. He needed the court to be reasonable about his changed circumstances. I knew it was a lie. Derek worked in pharmaceutical sales. His company had just landed a massive contract with 3 hospital systems. I'd seen the press release. I'd heard him bragging about his commission checks during one of Tyler's weekend visits. But proving it was another matter. The hearing was scheduled for a Tuesday morning in November. I took the day off work. Lost a day's pay I couldn't afford to lose. But this was too important. Tyler's future depended on it. I arrived at the courthouse 30 minutes early, sat in the hallway reviewing my notes, my bank statements, my records of Derek's missed payments, my documentation of his social media posts showing expensive purchases. Derek strutted in 10 minutes before the hearing. $1,000 suit, Italian leather shoes, gold watch that cost more than my monthly rent. His lawyer walked beside him like a well-dressed bodyguard. He didn't even look at me. The courtroom was small, wood paneling, high ceilings, the kind of place where justice was supposed to happen, where truth was supposed to matter. I sat at a plastic table with my public defender. Derek sat 20 feet away looking like he owned the place. Judge Morrison called the case. Derek's lawyer stood first. Smooth voice, perfect posture. He painted a picture of a struggling father facing economic hardship, rising costs, decreased income, the burden of supporting 2 households. "Your Honor," the lawyer said, "my client is asking for compassion. He wants to support his son. But the current order is simply unrealistic given his changed financial circumstances." Derek nodded along. The picture of a concerned father. Then it was my turn. My public defender was competent but uninspired. He presented our evidence, the missed payments, the social media posts, the press releases about Derek's company. But something was missing. Passion. Fire. The righteous anger I felt every time Tyler asked why we couldn't afford something his father bought without thinking. Judge Morrison looked tired, like he'd heard this story 1,000 times before. Deadbeat dad claims poverty while living large. Single mom struggles to make ends meet. The same drama playing out in family courts across America. Derek's lawyer called him to testify. Derek walked to the witness stand like he was accepting an award, confident, entitled, ready to perform. "Mr. Thompson," his lawyer began, "please tell the court about your current financial situation." Derek cleared his throat. "Your Honor, I want to support Tyler. He's my son and I love him, but my income has dropped significantly over the past year. The pharmaceutical industry is facing challenges. My commission structure changed. I'm barely making ends meet." Lies. Every word was a lie. But Derek delivered them with practiced sincerity. "I'm asking the court to reduce my child support obligation to $250 per month. It's what I can realistically afford while still maintaining a relationship with my son." Half of what he was supposed to pay. Half of what Tyler needed. The judge asked about Derek's expenses, his housing costs, his car payments, his lifestyle. Derek had answers for everything, rehearsed responses that painted him as a man struggling to survive in difficult times. My public defender cross-examined him, asked about the social media posts, the expensive dinners, the Lakers tickets. Derek had explanations for everything. Those were business expenses. That was a work event. The tickets were a gift from a client. Smooth as silk, believable to anyone who didn't know the real Derek Thompson. I watched the judge's face. He was buying it. The performance was working. Then something unexpected happened. Tyler had been sitting quietly in the back of the courtroom, 8 years old, wearing his best clothes, which weren't very good, trying to understand why his parents were fighting in front of a stranger in a black robe. During a brief recess, Tyler approached me. "Mom," he whispered, "I need to show you something." He pulled out his phone, a hand-me-down iPhone 6 that I'd bought him for emergencies. His small fingers navigated to his text messages. "Look at what Dad sent me yesterday." I looked at the screen. My blood turned to ice. The text was from Derek, sent at 11:47 p.m. the night before the hearing. "Hey, buddy. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Just bought tickets for the Dodgers game. Box seats. Going to be awesome. After court tomorrow, I'm thinking we celebrate with dinner at that steakhouse you liked. Don't tell your mom about the game tickets, though. She gets weird about money stuff." My hands shook as I read it. Box seats at Dodger Stadium cost at least $500 each. The steakhouse Tyler mentioned charged $60 for a steak. Derek was planning to spend in one weekend what he claimed he couldn't afford to pay in child support for an entire month. But there was more. Tyler scrolled up to show me other messages. From the past 2 weeks. Derek bragging about his new Rolex, photos of his vacation to Hawaii with Amanda, screenshots of his online shopping cart with a $2,000 mountain bike. "I thought you might want to see these," Tyler said quietly. "Dad always tells me not to show you his messages, but this doesn't seem right." My 8-year-old son understood justice better than his father did. The recess ended. Court resumed. Derek returned to the witness stand looking confident. His performance had been flawless. The judge seemed ready to rule in his favor. My public defender stood up. "Your Honor, I have one additional piece of evidence I'd like to present." Derek's lawyer objected. "This is highly irregular. We weren't provided with any additional evidence during discovery." Judge Morrison looked annoyed. "What kind of evidence, Counselor?" "Text messages, Your Honor, sent by Mr. Thompson to his son within the last 24 hours. Derek's face went white. His confident mask cracked for just a moment, long enough for everyone to see the panic underneath. "Objection!" his lawyer shouted. "These messages are private communications between a father and son. They're relevant to Mr. Thompson's claims about his financial situation," my defender replied, "and they were voluntarily shared by the minor child. Judge Morrison considered this. The courtroom was dead silent. "I'll allow it," he said finally. "But keep it brief." Tyler was called to the witness stand. He looked tiny sitting in the big chair, but his voice was clear and steady as he read his father's text messages aloud. "Hey buddy, can't wait to see you this weekend. Just bought tickets for the Dodgers game. Box seats." Derek's lawyer tried to interrupt. Judge Morrison silenced him with a look. Tyler continued reading. Each message was another nail in Derek's coffin. The Hawaii vacation, the Rolex, the mountain bike, the expensive dinners, the casual spending that contradicted everything Derek had testified about. The courtroom was silent except for Tyler's young voice reading his father's own words. Words that revealed Derek Thompson for exactly what he was. A liar. A manipulator. A man who would rather spend money on toys than support his own son. When Tyler finished reading, he looked directly at his father. "Dad, why did you tell the judge you don't have money when you just bought all this stuff?" Derek's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. No smooth answers now, no practiced responses, just the raw truth of being exposed by his own child. Judge Morrison's expression had changed completely. The tired, seen-it-all look was gone, replaced by something much colder. "Mr. Thompson," the judge said slowly, "would you like to explain these text messages to the court?" Derek stammered, tried to backtrack, claimed the messages were taken out of context, that the purchases were old, that he was just trying to maintain a relationship with his son. Each excuse sounded more pathetic than the last. Judge Morrison had heard enough. "Mr. Thompson, you've testified under oath that you cannot afford your current child support obligation due to financial hardship. Yet the evidence shows you've spent thousands of dollars on luxury items and entertainment in recent weeks. Do you understand that perjury is a crime?" Derek's lawyer jumped up, started talking about misunderstandings and clarifications, but it was too late. The damage was done. Judge Morrison ruled immediately. No deliberation needed. "Mr. Thompson, your motion to reduce child support is denied. Furthermore, you will pay all outstanding arrearages within 30 days. The court is also ordering an investigation into your finances to determine if your support obligation should be increased based on your actual income rather than your claimed income." Derek's face was red with embarrassment and rage. His perfect plan had backfired spectacularly, but the judge wasn't finished. "Additionally, Mr. Thompson, your behavior in this courtroom demonstrates a troubling pattern of deception. I'm referring this matter to the district attorney's office for potential perjury charges. Court is adjourned." Derek stormed out without looking back. His lawyer chased after him, probably already calculating his bill for cleaning up this mess. Tyler climbed down from the witness stand and walked over to me. "Did I do okay, Mom?" I hugged him tight. "You did perfect, sweetheart. You told the truth. That's all anyone can ask." 3 weeks later, Derek's company fired him. Apparently, the court case had attracted attention from his employers. They didn't appreciate having a sales representative who lied under oath making headlines in the local business journal. He also faced criminal charges for perjury. His lawyer negotiated a plea deal: community service, probation, a permanent mark on his record. But the real consequences were more personal. Derek's relationship with Tyler never recovered. My son had seen his father's true character in that courtroom, had watched Derek choose money over family, had realized that his dad was willing to lie, cheat, and steal rather than take care of his responsibilities. Tyler still spent weekends with Derek when required by the custody agreement, but the easy affection was gone, replaced by polite distance. The relationship became transactional, scheduled, cold. Derek tried to buy Tyler's love back with expensive gifts and trips, but Tyler was too smart to be fooled. He'd learned the difference between presents and presents, between money spent and love given. The back child support payments arrived within the 30-day deadline, Derek's new lawyer probably explained the consequences of defying Judge Morrison's order: jail time, asset seizure, professional embarrassment. Derek chose compliance over pride. 6 months later, Tyler and I moved to a better apartment. Nothing fancy, but Tyler had his own room, a small backyard where he could play, a neighborhood with good schools and safe streets. We celebrated the move with pizza and ice cream, Tyler's choice of toppings, his favorite flavors, a small victory dinner for a family that had fought hard for better days. "Mom," Tyler said between bites of pepperoni pizza, "I'm glad I showed you those text messages." "Why's that, honey?" "Because telling the truth is always right, even when it's hard, even when it hurts someone you love." My 8-year-old son had learned lessons that his father never would. Derek eventually found another job. Lower pay, less prestige. The kind of position he would have considered beneath him before his courtroom humiliation. But employers in pharmaceutical sales talk to each other. Word gets around about representatives who can't be trusted. His relationship with Amanda didn't survive the financial strain. She'd signed up to date a successful businessman, not a convicted perjurer working for half his previous salary. She moved out of the penthouse 6 months after the trial. Derek now lives in a modest apartment across town, drives a used Honda instead of a BMW. His Instagram posts show home-cooked meals instead of expensive restaurants. The consequences of his choices followed him everywhere. Meanwhile, Tyler thrived. His grades improved when the financial stress at home decreased. He joined Little League, made new friends, started talking about becoming a lawyer when he grew up. "I want to help kids like me," he told me one evening while working on homework. "Kids whose parents don't do the right thing." I couldn't have been prouder. 2 years have passed since that day in court. Tyler is 10 now, taller, smarter, more confident. He still sees Derek every other weekend, but their relationship remains strained. Derek occasionally tries to reconnect, sends long text messages about wanting to be a better father, makes promises about family trips and quality time. But Tyler has learned to judge people by their actions, not their words. Last month, Derek missed one of Tyler's baseball games because of a work commitment. The old Derek would have made excuses, blamed his schedule, promised to make it up later. This Derek showed up at our apartment that evening with a handwritten apology note and Tyler's favorite cookies from the bakery downtown. "I'm sorry I missed your game," he told Tyler. "Work isn't more important than you. I made the wrong choice." Tyler accepted the apology with the same polite distance he'd maintained for 2 years, but I saw something different in his eyes. Not forgiveness, exactly, but recognition that his father was finally trying to change. Progress comes slowly sometimes. Trust, once broken, takes years to rebuild. But Derek seems to understand that now. His apologies come with actions. His promises are smaller and more realistic. He'll never be the father Tyler deserved from the beginning, but maybe, with time and effort, he can become the father Tyler needs going forward. The child support payments arrive on time now, every month. No excuses, no delays. Derek learned that lesson the hard way in front of a judge and a courtroom full of strangers. Sometimes I think about those 3 words that started this whole journey. "You get the kid." Derek meant it as a dismissal, a way of dumping responsibility while keeping the fun parts of fatherhood. He didn't realize he was giving me the greatest gift of my life. I did get the kid. Tyler Martinez Thompson. Smart, brave, honest Tyler who stood up in a courtroom and told the truth when it mattered most, who chose justice over loyalty to a father who didn't deserve it. Tyler got me too, a mother who would fight for him, who would work double shifts and clip coupons and take buses across town if that's what it took to give him a good life. Derek thought he was winning when he walked away from our family, thought he was getting freedom while sticking me with the hard work of raising a child. He was wrong about everything. Tyler and I won. We won because we had each other, because we told the truth, because we never gave up fighting for what was right. And Derek? Derek learned that running away from responsibility doesn't make it disappear. It just makes the consequences harder when they finally catch up. "You get the kid," he said. "Best deal I ever made.